Good evening, everyone. This is John, and this is going to be the free video for tonight. I've got this one set up as kind of a little bit different here. For the TTM squeeze, what I did here is I went here and just format the squeeze, and I changed the zero up color right there to cyan. Normally it's just blue. That way it just kind of stands out, and it makes it, when it goes darker blue, stand out a lot more. So this is Google on a 60-minute chart. I'm going to take a look at some currencies. First, I wanted to take a look at Google. Just kind of keep an eye as we set up here. Here was the last 60-minute squeeze on the long side. And on something like this, there's a couple of different ways to play it. Here's the way I like to play it. Okay, you get in. The first thing you're looking for is a red flag that the trade's over is a loss of momentum, all right? What I do at that point, okay, initially you're going to start off here. Generally, you're going to use a stop below the prior swing low. So in that case, that's here, okay, give or take. And then from there, once you see it run out of momentum, I like to take off a third, okay, and then move up my stop to my entry. And then from there, I'll actually wait for red TTMs to exit the rest. And here you can see we just kind of kept cruising along here. And, you know, this is a 60-minute chart that fired off on the 4th, and it's still good, even though we've had some pretty horrendous sell-offs during this time too. You can't really tell, but from here, you know, this was like a 10-point sell-off right here. But so that's just kind of way. The whole idea with trading is you actually don't make money trading. You make money sitting, and you make money sitting on winning positions. All right, so that's a way to do that. All right, so that being said, let's look at the 60-minute chart on currencies. So on the dollar index for tonight, we don't have anything setting up in terms of a squeeze. Obviously, the dollar here, the 75 level is pretty key. If we can get through this level decisively to the downside, you're going to see some action. There's a lot of support at this level, though, and so I'm kind of keeping an eye to see if this level is going to hold. We're going to get a little kickback rally, at least in the short term, in the dollar. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the euro. We had a squeeze last night, and it is all right. You know, we didn't get any great moves, and we're actually kind of right back in the same situation that we were in last night, except now we don't have a squeeze. So for tonight, we do not have a setup. Now, the pounds fired off short last night. You had this nice kind of a move that was going on, but again, at this point, we got nothing for tonight. Let's look at Aussie dollars. Aussie dollars were setting up last night, and wow, we are still in a squeeze. You don't see that happen very much. This is a super long squeeze. This play is still valid. Place an order to sell a break of the lows. Place an order to buy the break of the highs. The prior, so in this case, if this gets triggered, then you leave this order in for a stop, and you have no targets. You leave it open, and this is a life is like a box of chocolates trade, because you're going to wake up in the morning and you never know what you're going to get. All right, so that's a good. I like that one. Let's look at Kiwi. In the cash market, same thing here. You do have a squeeze setting up. You can do the exact same thing here that we just talked about. Sell stop at the lows, buy stop at the highs, and you got yourself a box of chocolate. Let's look at CAD on cash. No squeeze there. Let's look at Swissy on cash. No squeeze there. And let's look at yen on cash. Nothing there. I actually like to look at the futures too, just to see, and nothing there. I got a lot of lines there, but no setup. All right, let's look at some of the crosses. Euro yen, nothing setting up there. Sterling yen, nothing setting up there. Aussie Kiwi, you got kind of a setup here. Honestly, here what I like though is you can see that this Aussie Kiwi kind of trades sideways a lot of the times in the smaller time frames. The fact that Aussie Kiwi is in a squeeze usually means that either Aussie or Kiwi is in a squeeze against the dollar. So I'd rather actually just take those. But it's good to know that this is happening here because you know you need to get movement here also as well if you're going to get movement in the Aussie or the Kiwi. So that's good, but I wouldn't take it. Let's look at Euro Aussie. That's actually a really nice squeeze there. So you got a really solid support level here to place a sell stop, and then a really solid. I mean, that's a box play if you ever saw one. So on something like this, you can place a sell stop again at the lows, a buy stop at the highs, and just let it go. Usually when this one moves, you actually get a fairly decent push, and I would expect that from this setup as well. Finally, on the 60-minute chart, I want to look at gold. No squeeze there, just continues just to continue going higher, but there's no specific setup in terms of a squeeze. And let's look at silver. Okay, we had a little bit of a squeeze here and we ran out of gas. I did do a short back in here. We talked about that the other day. As we came back down, locked in 10 cents profit, and that got stopped today. So kind of back to square one. So in my premium newsletter, I'm going to review all the daily setups that are setting up for the rest of this week. There actually are some big moves setting up, and we'll be talking about those on the daily charts in the premium video. You guys have good trading, and we'll see you at the next update.